Wow, after that awesome testimony for Betty, I don't know who can come back on that one, just to see how she's gone through so much turmoil in her life. And just to look at her, she doesn't even look like she's gone through turmoil, but that's just God.
Listen,
Um,
amen.
and the awesomeness that God can restore. He's a God of restoration. I'm
Yes.
going to be brief. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm going to be a little brief about myself. My name is Denise. I am Premier Coaching and Consulting. I am a divorce coach. Um, and I specialize in helping women regain their self-worth after going through divorce. And a little bit about me before, the reason why I started to become a life coach was I know as a teenager after college, and then working, for some reason, women just gravitated to me with their problems, relationship problems, boyfriend problems, things they were going through in relationships. And for some reason, I was able to help them through these bad, toxic relationships that they were going through, and they were able to just move on. But the
Mhm.
time came for my relationship problems and issues. I didn't have advice for myself. I had to go through what, you go through as a woman going through relationships. I didn't have a coach at the time while I was coaching these women, not knowing that I was coaching these women. Um, so when I was going through my situations and my relationships, I didn't have that person to come up to me and tell me what I needed to do to get through my relationships. So I had to more or less wean through it. So as time went on, and I got married, and my husband was a Marine, who he was an alcoholic. And he was, you could be a good alcoholic. You could be a good person and you're an alcoholic and you're not contributing to the household. So I went through that. And then after I divorced him, I got into another relationship that was toxic. And during that time, I don't know if women understand, you lose your self-worth when you're going through toxic relationships. It chips away your self-worth because you're sitting there, you're standing there, you're lying there, you're living in relationships that are just not for you. They're not for you, but you're still there. Sometimes you can be comfortable in a bad situation and you still be comfortable in that situation because not every day is a bad day. You're going to have a bad day one day. The next day, you're going to have a good day in a relationship. You may have 2 or 3 good days in a relationship and you feel good at that time. But then when the turmoil hits, you're back into that bad situation again. So going through the relationship that I was going through, I lived with a man for like 14 years. We had a beautiful home, but he was toxic. So during that time, um, it was part of my home. I didn't want to leave it to leave him there because it was my home too. So what did I do? I stayed there. But over a course of the time, going through the relationship issues that I was going through, and I was just being robbed of who I was as a woman, as a person. And I looked in the mirror one day and I says, I can't do this anymore. The house isn't worth it. The beautiful home isn't worth it. The cars aren't worth it. I'm worth it. So I decided to make my move and I moved out. And just once you get out of a bad relationship, everything starts to fall into place. Everything that's meant for you starts to fall into place. And once I made that decision and that choice to get out of that toxic relationship, doors, which was God, began to open up for me. Another home, a good relationship, the peace of being out of that situation. So I decided I'm going to help other women go through what I've gone through. And I went for divorce because I went through a bad divorce, because I know that there are women that are going through divorces that are toxic. But the thing about divorces is everybody's divorce is different. The magnitude, the severity of everybody's divorce is different. but we're all the same in our emotions going through a divorce. We're sad, we're hurt, we're anxious, we feel guilty at times. And so I decided then I was going to help women go through what I went through. So after I left and found my self-worth again, I was able to celebrate life, which I'm celebrating now. Over 6 years now, I'm celebrating life. So what I do is coach women to get through the stabbing of the self-worth that's been given to them by going through that relationship. I help women to overcome that, to find themselves, to let them know that you're more worthy than that relationship. You're more worthy than that toxic person in your life, that man that's in your life that's just robbing you of everything. So that's what I do with women. I coach women to find that self-worth. And sometimes it's not easy to get it right away because when you lose your self-worth, you don't know how to get to it again because it's gone. And you don't know how you were worthy at the beginning, on the onset of the relationship when it was going good. You don't know how to get back to that. So I help them to get back to that and to celebrate life and just move on.
Thank you so much, Denise. Um, thank you so much for sharing what you do, your life, and all the pain you experienced, and how you've through self-affirmation and through getting in touch with yourself, you've managed to transcend. You found the valuable you within. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Welcome.
So if anyone has any questions, they can ask their questions. Otherwise, I would invite Stephanie, our next speaker.
Hi, actually, Denise, what you just said resonated with me very much so because I was previously married and ended up leaving my ex-husband, and now I'm actually going through, I just had to break off my engagement of 2 years because I was engaged to somebody who was a recovering drug addict, and I'm gonna cry. It's
Been
been
there.
unfortunately engaging in like doing drugs again and engaging in a lot of deceitful behavior. So this is very fresh and this is not what I was planning to talk about, but it kind of ties in with what you were talking about. And sometimes being an adult sucks. It's very hard. But I do agree with you, even though I'm going through this now, I'm doing the right thing, and I know that I have to step back to hopefully have this person get the help that they need, but it doesn't make it any easier, unfortunately. And I came on because
Wait. Stephanie, I'm going to record you now. I didn't record that part. So I'm going to record you now. Okay.
if you need me to cry again,
You can cry. This is what we do. We're women. We
That's
can be
right.
jealous. We can be crying. We can do whatever women do. So this is our today is our women's night. So that's fine. Ready? I'm recording. So I just wanted to let you know.